everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jenna Redfield, and today I have a very exciting video. But before we do, I have a big announcement. I have a brand new Notion template available. It's called the Content Calendar Template, and it's available now on Gumroad. What I did with this template was, a lot of people have been asking me for a content calendar template, and so I finally made one, and I wanted to make it pretty simple as well as useful. So whether you run your own business and you're trying to plan your content, whether you are a creator or YouTuber, or even if you are a marketer or a social media manager for other businesses, that is also available. I'm going to be talking about it a little bit more at the end, so stay tuned for that if you want some more information. But today we're going to be talking all about how to make YouTube videos, one of my favorite topics. If you didn't know, I actually went to film school and have been making YouTube videos since 2006 as a film editor. So I have a very big background in video production and editing. So today I'm going to walk you through my entire YouTube video workflow from idea to actually promoting it on social. So let's get started. Before you do, make sure to subscribe below and let's get started. So the first thing that you have to do when you are making a YouTube video, first of all, you obviously have to build a YouTube channel. I don't really want to go through that today. I'm really just going to talk about how to make the video. So once you have a channel, you just need a Google account, put your banner, put your logo or image, and then now you have a blank YouTube channel, right? So the first video or whatever video you want to do is you are going to have to come up with an idea for it. Now, obviously, you probably are going to want to pick some sort of niche or specific thing, but here's the thing. You might not know right away what you want to make a YouTube video on. You kind of have to experiment and see what works. For me, I spent years trying to figure out what this channel was, and it wasn't until I started doing ADHD and Notion content that things really picked up for me. So one of the things that I do is I like to do something called keyword research. So what this is where I can actually search either on YouTube itself. I just type in maybe a general idea and then see what people are searching for. Because again, you want to make sure that your video is clicked on and seen. So making sure that the title of the video is something people search for is going to be a lot easier for you to rank and for people to watch your videos. There's some other tools. I really like Keywords Everywhere, as well as things like Google Keyword Planner to help me figure out what are people looking for, what kind of topics can I come up with, and how can I make them unique and different than other YouTube videos. One of the things that I really like to do is make sure my videos are different than even people within my own niche. Another really great resource is Dickie Bush and Nicholas Cole. They run something called Ship 30 for 30, and they have an amazing thing called the Endless Idea Generator. I'm going to link their video below because it's definitely worth a watch. It gave me so many ideas to how to come up with content ideas that you will literally never run out of content ideas. So once I have my idea for my video, another thing I also do is I look at the comments to see what people want to see. And actually a couple of you guys commented saying that you want to see how I make YouTube videos. So that's one reason why I'm doing this video today. So I wanted to mention that as well. But really, once you have your idea, that's like the first step, and then you have to kind of choose to go on that video route. So the first thing I like to do is I like to go into Notion and write down all of my potential video ideas into my content calendar. So I'll head over there and walk you through that a little bit. So the first thing that I'll do is I'll go into my content creation production pipeline, which this is part of your template as well. And what I'll do is right now, so I have how to plan YouTube videos on Notion. That is literally, the publish date is today. I'm obviously going to publish it today. I have the channel, so the recording date would also be today. I can also add different apps I use, and right now, instead of potential ideas, it's currently being worked on. So I can change the status. I can also look and see the calendar of when things are going to be published. So this is going to be published today, hopefully this next week, and then this the week after. So right now I have a couple of ideas for the future for my YouTube channel. Again, you can view it in different ways. You can also view it board view. So right now you can filter it. So publish date is within the next week. So that's what, is the one that's for next week. You can filter it however you want. And that's something that I've set up for the template as well. You can see down here, I have made a gallery view of the past posts. So this is filtered so that its status is published and channel is YouTube video. You can see that I have all of my videos that I've made over the last several months, and I uploaded all of their thumbnails over here to the cover. So this is how I can see all of the different videos. One thing I also like to do is I could add a property which is called, this is a little different than what you guys are getting. I have a lot more things that kind of just makes sense for me. But the one thing that I've also added is views. So right now you can see I have different tags. So like this one has 100 to 200. Some of these are outdated and I need to update them, but it kind of helps me see. I could also group it by the number of views. So if I go to group by, and then I select views, I can see which video has the most or least views, right? So these are the ones that have the most views. So between 5,000 or 500 and 1,000 views, 5,000 to 10,000, etc., etc. So these ones I haven't gotten to yet. So just showing that all of this can be done with the template that I am selling now. As long as you put all this information in, it's able to be sorted however you want based off of your own content. You can group and ungroup. Obviously, that's up to you. I really like to see all of my past videos. And then once this one that I'm working on, if I switch back to this, I can add my thumbnail here. I can make sure I have my checklist, which I'll show you guys towards the end. So that's really how I use Notion to plan my content when it comes to YouTube videos overall. And this again is filtered just this could be filtered just to YouTube. You could also add things like your Instagram. I literally have all the different channels I've got. If you have a podcast, this is how I used to plan my podcast, TikTok, Instagram. I like to have it all on one table, one specific database, and then filter it. So you could even add different filters here. You could be like, I just want to see my podcast, or I just want to see my Instagram posts. This is the best way to do it, having it all in one database instead of having a database for each individual thing. Just change the channel and whichever one you're doing, that's what you do. So then once I have my Notion set up, now it's time to set up my camera to film. I usually put some makeup on, whatever outfit, it's my new sweater, I got my earrings on, whatever. I just try to look somewhat presentable. And I usually like to also film in the morning when there's a little bit better lighting. This is actually mostly natural light that you're seeing right here. But one of the things that I like to do is I like to set up my camera. So I'm using a Canon 80D. I've also got a 24mm lens and a tripod, and that is it. That's all I have right in front of me. It's going to make the sound change, but I am also using the Zoom H4n Pro, which is an audio recorder. So that actually sits right here. So I'm like right above it, and it allows me to get pretty good audio. I had some audio issues on this channel for a while. I was using a shotgun mic as well as some other mics, and they just weren't working very well. So I ended up getting this microphone, and it's been a lot better. So I record these at the same time, and I basically sit down and record whatever I want to talk about. I have in the past used a teleprompter. I have one called the Parrot teleprompter, and I did a whole video on it back in the day. But if you are like struggling to say things to the camera, a teleprompter might be really helpful. I like to ad-lib, and honestly, I do it all in one take. If I make a mistake, I'll just stop and then say the sentence again and then edit it in post. So that's really how I record my videos. Obviously, if there's some additional B-roll shots, I'll film those as well. But most of my videos are me just sitting here talking, and then usually cuts over to my camera to film, whether it's a Notion tutorial or whatever I'm doing. Now, in order to film a Notion tutorial, I usually use something called OBS Studio, which is a software that allows you to film screen shares and different things. And what I love is that it's free. And I also can either add my face, I can switch back and forth between apps. It's really cool software. I discovered it right at the beginning of the pandemic, and I've been using it ever since. So that is how I record. I also use, again, my audio for that as well, so that the audio stays consistent. And I just record a Notion tutorial just from OBS. It's pretty easy. You just click start and stop record. That's about it. It's honestly one of the easiest softwares to make any type of video tutorials. There's some other options like Loom. You can use other things as well. I really like OBS. So then once I'm done filming my video, I will then there's two different SD cards, one from my camera and one from my audio recorder, and I'll import both of them into Final Cut. Thankfully now once you copy it into Final Cut, you can just take the card out. It used to be that it would unsync, but that's not the case anymore, so I'm really happy about that. So basically I just import those in and then I start editing. So with editing, what I do is I use Final Cut, which is a paid software from Apple. It's about $300, but it's definitely cheaper than Premiere. I really like it because I paid for it once 5 years ago, haven't had to pay for it again, and it's a lot more advanced than iMovie. iMovie is what I recommend if you're on a Mac. I've been using Mac since I was about 16, so I'm very much an Apple person. And so I start editing. What I do is I cut out any mistakes. I also color correct and add some LUTs to my face so that it maybe makes the coloring a little bit better. I also add, my intro clip that shows my name, as well as my end slate, which has where you can watch additional videos at the end. That's about it for editing. I do sometimes add transitions, sometimes I'll add text, just depends on the video. I try not to take forever to edit. For me, it's more of a time thing than I could make my video amazing if I wanted to, but it might take 10 hours. And for me, I prefer to just make the video pretty straightforward and not spend forever editing, because again, I'm doing this for fun and I don't, this isn't my full-time job. So once I'm done editing my video, I will go and start the upload process to YouTube. I have to export it. I usually export it as an MP4 file, and then I add it into the YouTube upload. So this is the process that takes a bit of practice, just figuring out all the different steps. The first thing is obviously adding a really good title. So that's the first thing. Make sure that the title's interesting. I like to really focus on keywords. Some people don't. I do. I usually like to have a lot of keywords in there, as well as in the description. I usually put the time codes as well as any links to things that I have happening. I also add tags. Tags are really important. That's how you get ranked for different search terms. So I always try to think of tags, like for this video, I'll probably be like YouTube in Notion, or how to make a YouTube video in Notion, or YouTube channel upload process, just things people would search for. So I make sure to add those. And then what I also do is I add the thumbnail. Now the thumbnail, I usually either take a photo from a photo shoot, or sometimes I pose for the photo for my thumbnail. I have a whole process for this. I kind of have sort of made my own template, but sometimes I change it up. I also do sometimes take a photo literally from my phone and do it on Instagram stories, download that into Canva, and then I usually remove the background of my face and then add that into the thumbnail. I do like to add my face to most of them. It kind of helps brand me and people start to recognize me when they click on the video, but not every video has my face in it. I just tend to find people tend to click on videos with faces more often. Another thing I do is I add an end slate as well as some other things, and then I click upload. Then comes the process of marketing the video. So in order to market the video, I have actually a checklist in Notion. So I'll go through that a little bit with you guys with my checklist to all the places that I like to promote my YouTube video after it's gone live. And let's just head over to Notion and I'll show you guys that. Okay, so I wanted to walk you through a little bit. So this is the content calendar template that you guys are able to buy on Gumroad. It's $15. And you can see up here, I have a ton of different resources and they all link back to here. So it's pretty cool. So if you want to choose the apps that are included in whatever you're doing. So for example, if I wanted to publish a new YouTube video, I could call it, whatever today's video is. It would be, YouTube in Notion. You can, choose the apps. So we're doing Final Cut, which we can add, let's see, Final Cut Pro X. You could add iMovie, whatever apps you're using, that you can add it. So the biggest thing here, actually, let me create a new one so I can show you how the template works. So if I were to create this, I've added what's called the YouTube publishing schedule checklist. So this, if you click on that, it's a template. And what's cool about it is it literally has all of the different steps that you need to take to make a YouTube video. So right now we are currently we've published the video, right? So we've gone through all of these. Now, these are the things that I like to promote my YouTube video on. I promote it on the YouTube community page, which a lot of people don't use, but I find it really important. So what I do is I make a Canva graphic that's square and upload it to the YouTube community page. I believe you have to have 1,000 subscribers to this. I'm not sure on that, but it's really helpful to have another way to promote your video to your subscribers. I also share it on Instagram stories with the new Instagram link. So I link right back to my YouTube channel. I also create a reel and a TikTok to promote my newest YouTube video. I also share it sometimes in Notion Facebook groups, sometimes in my own Facebook groups, which you can join below. I can also share it on Reddit threads, Twitter, Facebook. There's a million different ways to share your YouTube video, but a lot of people don't take this step. They just publish on YouTube and that's it. So make sure that you're constantly promoting it, especially the day that it launches, so you can get the most views right away. And then obviously you can keep promoting it over time. You could set up an auto scheduler to, tweet out your video. There's a lot of ways to promote, but I think a lot of people skip this step when it comes to YouTube videos. Also, one thing I recommend not doing is don't upload the video to Facebook either. Post the link back to YouTube if you're really trying to grow your audience on YouTube. What I used to do is I used to upload the video as well to Facebook. You can't really monetize very well on Facebook, so I would rather just share the video link over from YouTube and people can click on that. Oh, the other one, LinkedIn too, if you have that. It's another one. I'm actually going to add that here. Share on LinkedIn. So this is literally the template that you guys are going to get. I'm going to, do this, whatever. So that is available as part of the content calendar template. I am going to be adding more checklists for different types of things, but you can see for a YouTube video, it's a great one. Also, I wanted to mention that if you are planning content for other clients, you can see also that I have a social media management template, which actually brings you all of these for that individual client. So that's a pretty cool thing too. If you're looking to make content for others, it basically recreates the entire board for your client. So if you're making YouTube videos for a client, it then links back to a company, etc. I think this is really easy to figure out and it's already set up for you. So hope that you guys like this template. It's $15 and I think it kind of goes through some of the main things you need. I don't try to overcomplicate things. Try to make it as simple as possible. And yeah, I just think it's a great template. So hope you guys check that out on Gumroad.